Well, hello there, Virgo. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are going to just be checking in, seeing what is on the horizon for you. We'll begin by taking a look at the overall energy with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details about any obstacles on your path or areas of resistance, and of course, advice from Spirit. Okay, so let's see what is on the horizon for you. You have vast vistas. Expand your horizons. Wow. And Wombat Spirit, be at home. This is your energy, the hermit energy, right? So I feel like there's something here about really and truly expanding your horizons by being your true authentic self. There's something here about when you step into the power of being who you truly authentically are. And I'm not saying, Virgo, that you're not, but there's like a shift of having a sense of being really having true integrity in the actions that you are taking and your core values. So it's not allowing yourself to overgive to situations or to perhaps do something in order to please somebody else that really isn't in alignment with who you truly are. And the authentic way that you want to show up in the world. Yes, this is beautiful. And, I feel like part of it is that you're bringing something into balance, okay? Because there's a situation or a relationship, and it does not have to be romantic. So this could be a family situation, it could be a friend, it could be even in business, okay? Where, you feel like, okay, we're friends, right? Or we have this strong bond, but there's something that you're over giving into this situation. And therefore, I feel like you're feeling a little bit orphaned or sad because you're wanting something that's a little bit more reciprocal. Right? It's a little bit of the energy of unrequited love, but I feel like this is a situation where it's kind of like, I don't feel like the other person understands quite so much your feelings in the situation. So you're feeling hurt by whatever is going on, but it's kind of like you're not saying anything about it. It's allowing yourself, right? I feel like you've been over flexible in this situation in order to keep peace and harmony in it. But the thing is, it's not really in alignment with what you want out of this situation. It's kind of like, I feel like this could be, any relationship. And, it's understanding like, having someone in your life that you're tending to overgive to the situation, trying to kind of like have the other person reciprocate it a little bit, and yet at the same time this other person isn't, I think the other person honestly just does not understand how you feel. It's kind of like you're keeping something hidden from them, right? You're not sharing your feelings in this situation. Yeah, because there's something that you really and truly want. You have a manifest card. You have the increase card. You have the fates. I feel like for some of you, this is a relationship. It could be romantic, but once again, it doesn't have to be. It's somebody near and dear to your heart, where I think you're over compromising. You're not being your true authentic self in this situation. And I feel like my heart is really kind of breaking for you, because it's a little bit of being fearful that if you share your feelings or you share what it is that you truly want out of this relationship, or how you feel like it's not balanced or something like that, I feel like you're concerned you're not going to manifest the relationship that you're truly wanting with this person. I think you actually want to have a relationship with this person, but it's almost like you want it so badly that you're not allowing yourself to be your true authentic self. You're trying to morph into what it is that they want. Yeah. I mean, I think it's actually a relationship that can go the distance when you allow yourself to be your true, authentic self. Really interesting here because I feel like you're holding yourself back from something that you really want. And part of it is because you really and truly want this connection in your life, right? But you're having a hard time understanding how you're not being your authentic self, right? So you're kind of like focusing on the outcome in a certain situation instead of stepping into the feelings that you may have to actually share with this person in order to get the outcome that you want, right? So it's kind of like, I feel like you're focusing on what it is that you're wanting to manifest, okay? So you're wanting, if it's a business situation, right? You're over giving, hoping that maybe your boss will give you a raise or a promotion or something like that. So you're trying to manifest something in your life right here. Or if it's a romantic relationship, you're trying to manifest a long-term committed relationship, right? Something, maybe taking this relationship to, something that's, getting married or having a long-term commitment with each other. You don't want to just be companions. You don't want to just be friends. You want this to be committed for a long time. And the thing is that it is truly fated. I think that this person or this situation has been put on your path for a specific reason. But the reason that it's not coming together the way that you want it to, and that it is in the cards for you, right, is because you're not being your true authentic self. You're holding back and trying to compromise in this situation instead of being courageous and telling this person how you really feel, right? So it could be, say you're dating somebody, you've been dating for a while, but you're holding back your feelings about how you feel about this person because you're kind of like strategizing. How do I play this so that it does become a long-term committed relationship? Or if it's a business situation, right? You're kind of like over compromising yourself in order to stay in a job or to befriend an employer or your boss or something so that they will eventually give you, a long contract or promote you or whatever it is. But here's the thing. By not being your true authentic self, really stepping into how you feel about this situation and sharing how you feel about the situation with somebody else, you're floating out the outcome. You're looking at the outcome and you're strategizing how to get to the outcome. So you're in your head about it instead of in your heart. So let's take a look at your obstacle. Yeah, I feel like you have this energy of wanting a commitment, but you have the chaos and conflict. You're not getting the commitment that you want. And I feel like when it's kind of like you feel like you're getting close, but then all of a sudden you realize, no, there's a conflict here. The conflict, I think, is within you, is because you're not in alignment with who you truly are. And so it's kind of like you're thinking, oh, I have to bend more. Oh, this is so interesting. That's kind of like the reason that it's not working out for you is because you're trying to bend, okay, overgive to the situation. So you're overgiving to the situation, hoping that the person will reciprocate or will see your worth or whatever it is in the situation, and either promote you or go take a relationship to the next level or whatever. But because you're not your true authentic self, right? You're not vibrating at the same level. And therefore, it can't come into an alignment. But the more that it's not in alignment, the more you're over giving to the situation, which even puts you more out of alignment. So with manifestation, we attract in what we are. When you're in your true authentic self, and I think you attracted in this situation, this relationship, this job, right? But then you got into it and you were like, I really, really want this, right? So you started not being your true authentic self. You were over giving to the situation. You were being over compensating, okay, for any fears that you have that you're not worthy of this situation, right? And therefore you created a little bit of a gap here. And that gap, okay, really struck your fears, and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, I have to even give more to this situation in order to keep it. But the more you gave, the more you were actually pulling yourself out of alignment with who you truly are. Oh my goodness. I hope I'm explaining that. It's really kind of profound. I'll have to admit, I'm not sure I ever thought about it in that way. You attracted in something that really is truly fated for you because you were being your true authentic self. But then when you got into it, you started over compromising yourself, being overly flexible from your core values because it was something you really wanted. But the more that you did that, the more out of alignment the situation became, and then the more that you overgave. Oh, I can totally relate to this, right? It's kind of like, whether it's a relationship or a job. I can think of a job I had once, and I got into it, or I went on the interview and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want this job, right? And then I started like pulling away from some core values of who I truly am because I really wanted the job. And I thought, oh, it's kind of like a relationship. It's kind of like, well, I don't have to really say who I am or what I truly believe because on down the line, I can tell them that, right? But then you're creating that gap, right? And then it's kind of like, oh my goodness. Yeah, because your advice here is that this is a relationship that can be your 10 of cups or a situation, whatever this is. It can be your 10 of cups. You're trying to make it happen by being inauthentic to yourself. It's like when you step back into being your true authentic self, it's kind of like this comes into alignment. You're looking too much at the outcome and wanting something so badly, right? That you're willing to compromise who you are. So go back, okay? Just take a step back, Virgo. This is still in alignment. You haven't lost it, okay? So it's allowing yourself to take a step back and say, okay, wait a minute. Why did I want to get into this relationship or situation? What is it? Who am I, right? What do I want to bring to this situation and stepping into that? Yeah, because here you are. You're so focused on being fearful, okay, of it ending instantly, right? Of going away, that you're no longer, you're pulling yourself farther away from your own core values. It's coming in and saying, wait a minute, here I am. This is the good news. This is who I truly am, right? And allowing yourself to expand your world based on who you truly are instead of trying to fit into a certain situation. But when you allow yourself to say, okay, I'm not being inauthentic. This is wearing a mask, not being who you truly are. This is what I really want out of a situation, right? You have all this beautiful energy. This is who I really am, and this is what I really want out of this situation. And standing in that, in a sense of love, right? And loving yourself and saying, wait a minute, this is who I truly am. I want you to know who I am and what I truly believe. And then understanding if the situation really isn't in alignment for you, then why are you overgiving yourself anyway, right? And then the second thing is that I think it actually brings the situation into alignment in a way that it's the exact opposite of what you're fearful of. It's kind of like being real with this person or this situation. And all of a sudden, it's kind of like you're on the same vibration. So instead of growing further and further apart, all of a sudden, you're back in alignment with each other. Because you're going back to the true authentic self you were when this situation first came into your life. Wow. Okay. I'm going to spend some time thinking about that because I think that that is a really interesting energy to understand that it is when we step away from who we truly are, and because we're doing that really because there's an outcome that you want in this situation, so you're willing to compromise yourself a little bit, right? It's not, you're not throwing yourself completely out right, with the bathwater, but you're compromising yourself a little bit. But what you're not understanding is that the more that you compromise, the more of a gap there is between this situation, right? Which is going to bring it to an end. You're actually creating the end. You're manifesting an end in this situation because you're not in alignment with who you truly are. Yeah. Really beautiful energy. All right, Virgo. Let's, I think you're on the right path here. It's not about changing a direction, okay? It's really about realigning yourself to your core values and sharing them with the person or the person that you're dealing with, no matter what the situation. All right, so let's pull the soul truth card for you. And Virgo, I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. To where does my soul want to travel? Yeah, really interesting because you have a little bit of this energy that maybe you're over giving in a situation, but there's something that you really instead want for yourself, right? It could be, that you're in a relationship. Let's take something like you're in a relationship with somebody that doesn't like to travel, okay? And you really do want to travel, but you're not sharing that with this person. And because you're afraid, oh, well, if I say I really want to travel and kind of like force that upon them, and I'm not saying you're doing that, right? But it's kind of like, no, I'm disappointed. I really do want to travel. It's kind of like, so you're holding yourself back and you're not doing those things that you really would like to do because that's not who the other person is. But you're holding yourself back from something that you really want. So it's having that conversation with that person. I really would like to travel. There are places I would like to go. And allowing the other person to say, but I really don't want to go there for whatever reason, right? And then working it out. It doesn't mean you end this relationship, but what it does mean is that maybe you're having a discussion that maybe you travel with another friend or by yourself or whatever it is. Or maybe they're willing to compromise and go on one trip a year, right? And then maybe you want 3 trips a year. So you go on one trip together and then the other 2, you take a group tour or you go with a friend or something like that. And I know it's not necessarily about traveling, but it is about saying what it is that's on your mind. So that, and I don't feel like the relationship has to end, but I do feel like the more you don't speak up about what it is that you truly want for yourself, right? In the situation, the bigger the gap gets. There's a sense of, you're overgiving and then all of a sudden you're resentful of the overgiving, right? And the gap gets bigger and bigger and then it doesn't. That's why if you don't speak up, you literally are manifesting the ending that you are concerned will occur if you speak up. It's just a vicious cycle. It really is. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it there, Virgo. I really do appreciate all of your likes, comments, and subscriptions. I really do appreciate you. I love you so much. And I hope to see you again really soon. Much love and light. Bye for now.